Together, brought to you by Marix Media and Mindspeak.
Hi, I'm Kamal Chadda.
And I'm Dr. Deepti Mankad.
Welcome to Anchored Together, a YouTube series that casts an exhilarating spotlight on the vibrant lives of shipping industry professionals and their families.
Excitement and entertainment is what you get here in abundance.
Hi viewers, welcome to another episode of Anchored Together, and we have this wonderful father-daughter combination here to tell us all about the great life, the great relationships and the great experiences they've had in life. So let's go, boom boom, no wasting time. Let's go with Captain Mehta first. Sir, tell me a small bit about yourself.
To say very small about it, I think it's very difficult here.
Okay,
Life
tell me
is
as much
full
as
of
you
it.
like.
Anyway, to start with it, I'm born, brought up in a very small place, place in Punjab, and grew up over there, and finally finished my high school there way back in 1964.
What's the name of the place in Punjab?
The place is a small village called Rawal. But
Rawal.
the school in which I study is belong to our gurus. It was started by our gurus over there, and that is school known as Shri Bawalal Dayal High School. I finished my high schooling there, and then I shifted down to Delhi for some time in a college, which didn't work out much, I would say.
But you were destined for the Merchant Navy, so
Exactly.
college is
So-
only it's a little stoppage over there.
Reason of not coming back after high schooling was I was a little underage for going out to sea. So I had to spend another 1 year or two in the college, halfway through, and then I said, okay, now is the age to go back to sea. So in 1966, I shifted down to Bombay. I was called up by my brother to come down, so I came down, and in the 1966.
Your brother was already in Bombay. He was working.
Yeah, my eldest brother is well known in the industry, Mr. B.L. Mehta, Brijlal Mehta.
Yes.
He was a director of course, at that time he was not a director, he was only he was general manager in JNT Shipping. And Captain Kohli finally asked him, I believe you want to send your brother out to sea. Where is that fellow? So we call him up. So
That's Captain R.D. Kohli.
R.D. Kohli. And then I was called, and then I was pushed onto the ship, I would say, 17th of April, if I can go back to
Remember the
1976.
date?
That was the
Very
day
nice.
when I signed my contract, apprenticeship. And then after all, the life just grew up, and one fine day.
So let's quickly shift to Deepti for a minute. So Deepti, tell us what sparked off an interest for you in the maritime world.
Actually, it happened very organically. I remember I finished, so I was from the education background. I was into teacher training. And I think in 2010, there was some new amendments in STCW or some courses which came up. And they included the human element in that. And there was a requirement that qualified people with PhD can take those courses. So MMTI, where Dad also goes even now. So Captain Dubey told him that your daughter is teaching psychology and all that. Can she come and do it for us? So he asked me, will you go? And I was like, okay, I can give it a shot. And I remember going to MMTI, and I was pretty young at that time, fresher out, and that's how I started taking.
Oh, you're still very young.
Yeah, absolutely. But that time it was a bit different because I remember entering the class and they're saying, okay, what are you going to teach us?
Yes.
And there was no lady teaching at that point of time. I was the first lady to go into MMTI to teach a batch of chief
There's
officers.
always some kind of skepticism when you see someone young come in, especially for mariners, because they have moved like a kind of a master's class, at least median age of
Yes.
30, something like
Yes.
that. And then here the 22-year-old come to teach us, so you can have that situation.
Yeah, she had all
feeling.
that.
Yeah, I had all that, all hooting in the class and all that. But then I think that was it. And then, of course, I kept getting lectures after lectures, and it just happened so organically. And then OERC approached for similar, so they had the engineers revalidation and refreshers. I started going there, and then after that there was no looking back. So that's how I entered. And then Dad is like, "Why don't you do something for the mariners?" And in that meantime, Sailor Society had approached India for trainers for their course, and fortunately, I got selected into that. And then I got more and more interested in the wellness of seafarers, mental health, and all of that. And it's
So in the middle of all this, didn't you publish a book as well on uh,
on drug and
Drug and
alcohol.
alcohol,
Yeah,
yes.
that
Drug and
was his.
alcohol.
It was his baby. He wanted, but he's saying, I don't know how to write it. Would you do it? But his inputs were from his experience,
Right.
sailing experience. So we did come up with the book.
Oh, that was jointly written.
Jointly.
Joint
Yes,
venture.
yes,
It was a joint venture.
yes.
And of course, you were the one who published it for the first
Oh, did I?
edition. The Marix did it. Yes.
It was opened by Captain R.D. Kohli
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
in the,
It was.
in the scene of my
Yeah.
seminar.
Yes.
So, Capt. Mehta, now, of course, you were in the Merchant Navy and you sailed for a long period of time. I think you became an expert at some stage with cow operations.
Yeah, so
Exporting.
he was known as, I just like to cut, he was known as the cow master. So I
Cow
remember the
master.
first time
Okay.
I went
So,
to.
for somebody who's not in the Merchant Navy,
Yeah.
might be thoroughly confused about it. Is
Yes,
it a dairy
what-
farming or what?
Exactly. So that
what-
happened with me as well, because when I went to IMTC and they said, "Oh, you're Captain DK Mehta's daughter," I said, "Oh, the cow master." And so everybody like cow master, and I had to come back home and ask him, what is a cow master? And then he told me it's
For-
crude oil washing. I was like, okay,
Oh, yes.
yeah.
For anybody who is not a mariner and watching this, it's crude oil washing.
Yeah, I was one of the first person inducted in the crude oil washing system, which came in the our marine side, which by 1980. And from 1980, I was doing training for this crude oil washing on all these tankers. They are on my fingertips. And I served about 10 years. I did that till 1990, when I had to quit from SCI after giving good 24 years of service to SCI. I think I gave my youth to the SCI, I would say, to the nation.
Okay.
And
That's a huge thing.
I mean, I always say that I gave my youth to the shipping corporation, that is to the country.
Yes.
So thereafter, of course, shifted here and there due to various reasons, due to financial matter, due to children upbringing and all that, So I shifted over to. So that was one where I was specialized in trade. And thereafter, what next? Then what next? My elder brother says, what next do you want to do? Something new. So it came as a gas carriers.
Gas
Perhaps I was a pioneer in the gas trade in India, which even the Norwegian people said, no, it's not your cup of tea. I said, listen, my friend, I went for 6 months of training in that Norwegian gas carrier. And after 6 months, I came in a giant Reliance industry. And that was about 4 or 5 years. I set the ball rolling and I told my brother, get this Norwegian fellow out here. I just don't want to see them. So we got them out, and that's also specialization field again.
Yes.
Nitrate gas carrier in India was started by me. And I think that was a big boost for me, for my career.
That was with Reliance.
With the
Yes,
Reliance
yes.
industry.
Okay. Later on, you moved to Varun, is it? No.
No, after Reliance, I went to, after discussing with my brother, I said, listen, why? I think the children are going to go for higher education, and if they need any capitation fees and so and all that, I don't have that kind of money. So I would like to go back to sea. I'm not a table man too much, so I would like to go back to sea. And I went to Dynacom Tankers.
Okay.
14 years in Dynacom. And I was perhaps rated as one of the best masters with Dynacom Tankers, with the honors, good rapport. And also, I would say, senior most master with Dynacom.
Yeah,
See
it was.
how much parents have to think when they're making choices in their careers.
Yes.
That their children also need to be going into higher education.
Absolutely.
You need the wherewithal to. But you're also a mother now,
Yeah.
so I'm sure you also think, okay, what will be good? My kids are at that
No,
age.
absolutely.
But
And,
my going out to sea was well discussed with the family
Yes,
and both
yeah,
the kids.
yeah.
Because she
He
was in the
did.
10th and
Yes.
Gaurav was in
Because
12th.
you hadn't been for a while, now you were going to again go to sea. Again, a bit of a challenge there, the
No,
switch,
Yeah, but the good thing was he made us sit. I remember that day when he sat down, and because my brother Gaurav, he's a doctor, and he wanted to do his medicals. And at that time, there were very limited seats in Mumbai. Like, if you want to do gynax, so one seat here, one seat there.
Yes.
Dad saw it and he said, okay, let it be. You do your 12th, and he did his MBBS here, and then he went to
Yes.
Philadelphia
Yes.
to complete his super. So for that period of time, of course, you need a good amount of fee to go, and that's
Very
when he
nice.
sat down that I'll be going out, but you're big enough to manage
after
yourselves
me,
and
yeah.
look after yourself, and so I need to. If you need to make your careers, I will step out at sea, and that's when he decided to go back sailing.
Great help by the children and their mother. I think she's the
Mom has been very instrumental in this. Her
All the
support has
time.
been immense
Yes.
because she handled everything by herself when Papa was away.
I would say the credit really goes to her for their upbringing.
And 14 years
Yes.
he was away.
Yes,
So-
yes.
Yeah, and I think those the years, the contracts also tended to be a little
6
longer.
months.
6
Yeah,
months.
6 months.
Six
Yes.
months quarter, but I did 1 year also.
1 year also
For a
is done.
VLCC.
Yes.
I was known as VLCC and ULCC master in that company, and I handled all the big ships and small ships. So
So you handle the ships, you handle the children, you've done well on both accounts, career-wise, but now I believe you're doing some magic in the stock market.
I would say that I will call it the mariner. Once you are a mariner, you are never retired. So though I am now running almost 77, but I won't call myself to be retired. You people didn't let me retire because you have put me into such a dot. Sir, we understand you are making good money. I say, yes, of course I am making good money. I wonder why you people are not making money. So they said, okay, you start the group, financial group, advisor. So that group, 3 years old.
Yes.
26th of June it became
And
3
it's known
years.
also as a master's advice group.
Master's advice. And I think everybody is grown in that group and making good money, and they are making almost about 50-60% return.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can give you
really
50
nice.
60%
No, not at
return.
all, not-
Okay, I can say I have maybe made about 80% return, but that is not
Okay,
something.
all right. So
Sometime-
they have to have a little less than that.
Then
Definitely.
that's why you're the master. Master doesn't
Very
throw
good,
all
very
the
good.
eggs into basket
Very
at
good.
one time.
Very good. So, Capt. Mehta, now Deepti is the younger of the two children?
Yes,
She's
she's
younger.
younger one.
So, tell me, what was she like as a kid?
Oh my God.
As a child?
What to tell you about?
Mischievous, quiet, intelligent.
No, not quite.
She was not quiet. I would say she would always like the family company, and she would always like to get together with a lot of people, a lot of friends. Every now and then you find 4 or 5 of them coming with her. And this type of life, she lived that, and she liked the company of people. And of course, the family life, definitely she likes it.
Yes.
And
But that's very important when you grow up,
Yeah.
because you have to get along with a whole different set of people every time, and they're all going to be coming from different walks of life.
Yes.
So if you're already in that mold, it's just that much easier to.
she was liked
get
by
along.
everyone. In the class, teachers se lekar, and in the building, everyone used to like her. The number one. One day I went to her school when she was in the first or second. I said, what are you roaming around outside the class? Teacher said, you go take a break. So she took a break outside.
So the others can also do something.
So it was very surprising. What do you mean you take a break? She said, teacher said, no, you go take a break. She
But it
comes.
used to be so funny when he used to be here and open house to my brother, because we were very scared of him, all right, because he was very disciplined and strict and all that. So every time when he was here and the open house used to be there and he used to come to school, so all the teachers used to be like, yeah, okay, she's such a nice girl and she's this and she's that. And he's like, I don't want to know all that. How is she done in the exams? You tell me that. I don't want to know how she is.
Get on to the business,
Yeah.
serious business.
Wonderful experience for both my gyms, which I have, I would say 2 gyms in my Capt. That is why my son, Gaurav and Deepti, both. They have done both wonderful job in their field. He is the #1 gastroenterologist, just awarded by
That's the boy.
Yeah.
Gaurav.
Gaurav, and he is working in Koklaban Hospital as a gastro, specialized in gastroenterology and liver. While when she finished her education here in Bombay on the 12th, and I told her, you can go wherever you want. Don't think that my brother was sent and I was not given the opportunity. I say you are given opportunity. You find your way, what you want to do. No, there is nothing like boy and girl and all that. You are equally in par with it. You can go wherever you want, whatever you want. Finance is not a problem. That is why I went to sea.
Yeah.
That was
Yes, that's very important actually. I mean, in today's world, education has become a very expensive business. You know,
Yeah,
if you want
it
to be
does.
a good professional and go to good colleges, they cost a lot of money.
She done a wonderful job.
But that's all right. Your dad is okay. He's got his
He's
big
got his money.
kitty over there. If he had another couple of children, he'd manage those also. Not to worry. So.
So,
You're talking couple of more children. There are already 4 of them. You have 2 plus 4.
Okay. The grandchildren.
4
also
grandchildren.
waiting
2
in
of us.
line.
Oh my God, they make a hell out of it. Yes.
So, Deepti, let's talk about your dad, right in front of him. So, what are the things that you grew up with seeing in your dad, and were kind of wow, this is how I want to be? What are those qualities there?
I think first thing, Captain Kamal, is he has been very, very attached with the family. For him, relationships are very important. And the way he took care of his parents, not only parents, his siblings, I would say, though he was the youngest in the family, he got his sisters married and, things like that. So it was very important for him. So that relationship which I've seen, so today when he tells me how are you managing this so much, because I'm also staying in a joint family, but I think it's come from him. That's one thing which I feel was fantastic. And second thing which I feel everyone should learn from him, I'm trying my level best, is wealth management, financial management. He has done that so well. Initially the income was not so much, but still I think the way he and mom understood that how savings could help and how they built up their own home, made property now into shares, and best thing, for their old age, he's not asked a single penny from me, my brother, or anything.
Yes.
And he's saying, I'm set, I'm going to live for 100 and plus years and I have money until then. I think that is something we youngsters don't do. And that is something we really need to learn how to do.
I need to learn that.
Yeah.
I don't
But in
others.
fact,
So-
Kamal, when I take my classes and all that, even the MMTI, I always tell these boys, you have to learn one thing, how to save your money. Don't just go earn, come and spend and then go back again
Yes.
broke. I said, you all have to start planning from now till when you are in the age of 60, you should have sufficient money to sit back and eat.
Yes.
So that is important for you. So
Yes.
they take it very
So
seriously.
so you want to eat a little less in the earlier years so that you have something to eat in the later years,
But he has a comfortable life. I mean, they are living a life which I think they always wanted to in this age, which I feel so happy about because they are not dependent on anybody, and I think that's so important in today's time. And the third thing which I've learned from him, honestly, seeing him the way he is empathy. The way he has his relationships, the amount of people who are connected with him wherever he goes, So that is one thing I have seen it, and how people value that. I think I would like to have that when I grow his age, that I have people around me saying that, okay, we know her and we want to be associated with him,
And that's a
Yeah.
great quality. I mean, amongst all human qualities, I think that's just about the highest, I would say.
Yes,
Because
yes.
understanding, empathy is was so important.
I remember once, just interfering, I went in Danacom's office party. Once in a year they have a party, and I walked in. And when I walked in, there was so many boys whom I have promoted them to masters of medicine. They come and touching my toe, and the Danacom fellow said, "Why are they touching his feet?" He says, "Sir, he's the God for all these people."
Yes, we tend to be a little more expressive in that
Expressive,
manner.
yeah.
Then I
Yes.
told one of the master who was my trained person, and I said, I hear a lot of things about you. He said, "Sir, let me tell you one thing. We cannot be like you." Simple and straight. I said, I never said that you be like me. At least you have been with me for so long. You should have learned how to live, how to behave. And this is where you're lacking. Sir, I will try my best to improve. That was the final answer.
So now, dad and daughter, obviously you have things in common. So what are the things you all like to do together?
So usually when we sit, and then my mom always complains. So whenever we sit together, we all start talking about shipping, the marine industry, and stories.
And that's a common subject to the two of you.
And my mom will always tell, "Don't you all have anything else to do and talk?" So that is one thing we do share in common.
Though she is not shippy, but she is virtually shippy. Except that
Almost there, yes.
Almost
Almost
there.
there.
So yeah, that is something which we do, and we love to celebrate together.
Ah,
We do celebrate, and
okay.
I think that's I've learned from him. We love to personalize. So even when he used to be on ship, he has never forgotten mom's birthday, anniversary. The gift used to come home, flowers used to come home.
Ah.
You know, so celebration is something which we love to do. We just need a bahana to celebrate. That's it. So we are always
Good.
yeah.
Always ready to.
Yes.
Great. So, any active seafarers now in the family?
Yeah.
Active?
There is.
Yeah, there is. Oh,
I have
okay.
managed to send one person at least.
Okay.
My sister-in-law's son, that is my wife's sister's son.
Mhm.
He is gone out to sea now.
Okay.
And before that, we all three brothers were at sea.
Yes.
There were one or two had gone out to sea, but they're back and settled down on their own.
Ah.
But this boy is now at sailing as
Yeah, he's a fourth engineer now.
in Goodwood Shipping.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's there.
He's doing well, and I'm sure. I've helped not only one, I've helped so many people. I've helped them to go out to sea. So many
So,
people.
tell me a small bit now. We have a tendency to say that the younger lot who's coming in now into shipping is not as good as we used to be or the previous lot. So, is that really true, or is it
No,
just
I don't agree that they are not good. These boys are definitely good, more educated, more knowledgeable. But their knowledge not being used correctly, that is a possibility.
No.
Why? Because since the internet has come in the system, that all the time bugging on the internet, and whenever I go for students some
Cadet inductions.
career induction time, when I go there, I give them about 10-15 minutes talk on the same thing. They listen, boys. We never had anything like internet system on board. We all have got, we are lucky, but don't misuse it. And tell your parents, tell your wife, tell your parents also, don't keep bugging us,
Yes.
giving all the faltu information which you can't do anything with it. The fact is that they can't do anything.
Yes.
If that, I look at her when I was on the Danakam tanker, and she had a body arm broken, and they never told me till I came back. Then I came to the, and every time she said, when is dad coming? But they never told me that my arm is broken, so you come home. No, never.
Yes. Because that information would only bother you.
There's no
It wasn't
point in
going
that.
to get in the invasive,
This is
with your
what
work,
This is what I tell these cadets that listen, don't unnecessarily ask them to pass information which you cannot do anything.
Anything about.
Yes, if you can do something, then definitely.
Yes.
But I think unnecessary correspondent to parent or other parent calling the office. My son phone has not come today. What happened? He may not have got the internet connection, or maybe
Yes.
he's busy. Why are you people nagging him unnecessarily? So they keep bothering all these. These
But
are
you
the
know,
problems.
but you
These
know,
are-
Captain Kamal, one more thing I'd like to point out because you asked him this, because we have a lot of discussion on this.
Yes.
What I feel is lacking today is mentoring. So whenever I meet people who know dad and who have worked under him as cadets, so they always tell me that he was one person who took us by the hand and taught us, and that is what we feel is missing today. So I think that is really true. In fact, I think CMMI or somebody, I don't know, are coming up with a
Yes.
mentorship program.
Well, they have one going
have
for
one going.
for a while now.
So
Yes.
I think that is what is required. The kids today are intelligent. It's not they are not.
Yes.
Yes, attitude maybe not the
But
same.
that
can be
kind of
groomed.
mentorship will have its limits.
Yes.
On-board
On-board
mentorship
mentorship.
is very different,
Yes.
and which is actually needed.
Yes.
However, we know the circumstances that exist now. People want to be very independent about themselves, and they would rather Google what they want to learn than come to a person. But you're quite right. That might be making a big difference now
Yes. So I
to the
think-
quality. And of course, you'll agree also, sir, that if we keep saying the youngster are not as good, in one way or other we are pointing a finger at ourselves also.
We are not
Maybe
doing
we
the-
haven't done the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have been probably better.
Just to tell you, while I was working at Arakam, one of the senior master who was actually my master 1 year or 2 years senior to me, DK, you are very training people on left, right, center, promoting left, right, center. This is very. What about our job? That means our job is not secure. You keep promoting people. So it was said that whoever wants promotion, go send him on Captain Mehta ship. But that's not so. I train people before I
Yes.
promote them.
Yes.
And once I say yes, he need to be promoted, the company never asks second question why. Never. जिसको मैंने बोला कि this fellow not to be promoted, if they promoted, they'll end up in trouble. The ship would pull.
So, Deepti, you've taken a keen interest, and your involvement with wellness of seafarers is, quite commendable. You've, not only working with those organizations that are promoting it and not promoting, developing it.
Developing.
So, nurturing it in many ways. I mean, that's such a top. So, tell me about your role, how you moved in here into wellness, and how are you involved with it, and where is it going to go?
So, like I said, it started, I think, around 8 years back for me when Sailor Society had visited India. And like I said, they selected few candidates, and luckily I got selected. And I think at that time, OERC, Captain Chandna and Captain Deepak Raut had given my name. I didn't even know. And when I did the course with them, I understood the gravity of the situation. And then I also started researching a lot on it. And I started working very closely with Sailor Society. And that's when the involvement in mental health and wellness really developed, and we started working a lot in that area. So it's been now 8 years, and way ahead, of course. Earlier, the industry was not very accepting of the fact that seafarers are having these issues. Today, IMO was involved itself, the goals, sustainable goals have come in, and so now every company is taking it up seriously. So there's a long way to go still, but now the companies are a little bit more aware, I feel, and they are opening avenues for mental health and well-being of seafarers.
So, wellness, when you say wellness, it's, much broader than simply,
Yes.
physical wellness.
True.
So, what exactly is wellness? How would you define it today?
So, wellness for me would be when you're in a good state of physical health, your mental health, and of course, spiritual well being as well. So, in totality, how you are as a person, you're taking care of your physical fitness, you're taking care of your social life, because that's also a very important part of your well being. Then, what are you doing in your leisure time? What are you doing extra to take care of your mind, body, and soul? So that is what wellness is all
Soul
about.
as well now.
Absolutely.
Because I think the soul was being left out for quite
Yes,
some time.
Yes.
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 She's
Yes.
really doing a wonderful job.
Yes, of course, of course. Everyone agrees, everyone tells me, and of course, I agree too. So, what was the dad's first ship then? You remember?
Yes.
She'll tell us.
It was Jayanti's first ship. Jayanti's, yeah.
Jayanti is a company.
Company. The first ship was, I don't know, Vishwa.
Remember?
No,
I can't forget.
No, you can tell. I don't know.
The first ship
I know where he
was-
joined. He joined in Goa. That much I remember. His first ship he joined in
First
Goa.
ship was Bhaskara Jayanti.
Bhaskara
Bhaskara
Jayanti.
Jayanti, yeah.
And I can't forget that day because when the first.
That was a bulk carrier?
No, it's Obo.
Obo.
First time the
okay.
Obo which came in the industry was Jayanti.
I see.
There were three Obos: Leelavati Jayanti, Bhaskara Jayanti, Chanakya Jayanti. So Bhaskara was the one. They were supposed to be a real pride of India's shipping at that time. And
I mean, even globally, there were not many Obos
no,
even
not
then.
there.
Those
That time,
days,
no.
though, I
These
think.
were the. But then their lighting system, they're Japanese made. Lighting system was so fantastic. From far away, you could make out. Oh, that's a Bhaskara, or that is Chanakya, or that is.
Yes.
That was one wonderful. But my experience on the first day was a really, I would say, not very good. I was a guy going on board, and I was sent along with the third officer, Mr. Khambe, and he had sailed with my brother. So he said, "Isko mere saath bhej do. I'll take care of it." The best part is when we got off from the airport and we went on the ship and we were going up the ladder on the gangway. He said, looks back and he said, "DK, from now onward, you will not talk to me in Punjabi or in Hindi." Oh my God. What is here?
And he didn't know English.
And I was not very well acquainted with the English. So it was really terrible for me to take the shock. And the best part when I went and saw the captain, so he goes inside the captain's cabin, "Hi, I'm Captain, I'm third officer Khambe Jani." So I was standing on that door. "Who is this fellow?" He said, "Sir, he's Jani as cadet new." But the way he shouted, the way he abused me, and I didn't know what the hell is happening. So he said, "Get out from here. I don't want to see here." So that was my first day experience on board. That is what
But
I
then,
would.
yes.
That is what I would not do to my cadet when
No,
he's joining a
no,
bus.
those days are
No.
gone, long gone, long gone.
But
I
anyway,
mean, we called it all kinds of things, justified it one way or the other. But I think maybe
Yeah,
the world
today you
has
can't do
moved
that,
on.
yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The whole environment has changed for
Changed,
us. We
yes.
don't do that. So, sir, I have a question for you. Now, what is the first job that she took up?
first job she took up,
Yes, serious job, not
education. She was
Yeah,
the one.
yeah.
She was
Yeah.
a teacher.
Where?
And,
So I was teaching in Pudhar school, and then after that I went to BTDC.
BDDC.
Colaba.
Then you did also computer-based training when you were doing. Then you became the teacher also there.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that you know, she being gold medalist in the masters and all that. So everybody.
So,
being into-
what's your dad's favorite food? Cuisine, if you like.
Actually, he loves to eat all types of foods, but I remember in COVID time he was very happy because I was staying with him. So he enjoys his pasta. He loves pasta.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but then I cook it for him, and then and then he likes to eat that. So he's very fond of that.
So this is go-to food
And
whenever he's...
baked dish.
Oh,
Vegetable
okay.
baked dish. He loves that.
And the cheese and everything.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
he loves
okay.
that.
All right. So, and what is her favorite dessert?
caramel custard.
Yes.
So then I developed a taste for that.
Well, okay.
caramel
We had sailed together. We were children. I still remember.
Every Sunday, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
Chittambaram,
Chittambaram,
which
is it?
later on got burnt, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
I have sailed with him on that. But that was a
Okay.
beautiful passenger ship. I
Of
have
course,
given
of
it.
course, of course. I sailed on it as well as
Yeah?
a second mate, yes.
Okay, okay.
Long back,
I went
yes.
as a passenger.
Yeah, yeah, we went.
She was only 2 years old.
Three.
And Gaurav was I think 4 years old.
Yeah. But I still remember winning a doll, a pink walkie-talkie doll, on that ship.
Okay.
That
So,
was-
finally, tell me one thing about your dad that nobody else knows.
Nobody else knows.
Yes. because we all know so much about him, as a person, as a professional, as somebody who's now, helping others with the stock market. But there are things maybe we are missing.
So, something about him which I think nobody knows, the way he looks and the way he is, people take him as a very, very strong person, which he is. But from inside, he is so sensitive
Soft.
that even if he sees like simple thing, when I got married and on the next day, he and mom were watching this movie and he started crying. So he can cry at a drop of a hat. Nobody knows that.
I can do it right now.
Yeah. But he's a very, very emotional person from inside. Though he looks
Yes.
very strong from outside,
Yes.
but he's a very, very sensitive person.
But then,
from inside.
nowadays they say those men who can cry are
Yeah.
actually very strong.
Yeah.
Because that's become, the norms keep changing.
Yes. So
Okay.
that he is extremely, sensitive as a person.
Yes. So, tell us about your most memorable sailing experience now, before we have the last question. This is
Yes.
a
Alright.
penultimate one.
Yes.
The most, I would say, which I can remember in my life, which is, I would say, it has never happened in the marine field. That is, sailing a ship without the crew.
Whoa.
Yeah, he did that once.
Is that possible? Sailing
No,
a ship
that is the
without the crew?
That anybody will be surprised that when I say that myself, we had some problem with the crew. That the forward block union was trying to come up at that time, that way back in 1978. That's the time the Calcutta crew union were becoming stronger and stronger. In fact, my wife sailed
On that same ship.
On the same ship,
Is
she
it?
brought
Oh.
10 months old my child, and Captain Radhakrishnan accompanied her to Chennai, and from Chennai they joined with me, and she went to Haldia. And Haldia, these union people came and started making noise, big noise for them. So ultimately, last moment came, the pilot is already coming on board. So these was the union shouting, "Captain Murdabad, Captain Murdabad." My wife was so much worried, first time coming on a ship. I said, "Don't worry, darling, I'll take care, don't worry about all this." So I told the union leaders, I said, "You can take your crew out if you're not happy with them." So he said, "Yes, I'll take the crew." They took the crew off the ship, jetty. So then I called up my officers. I said, "Boys, can we sail without the crew?" The chief engineer said, looking at here and there, "Chief, can you handle your engine room with your engineers? Four of you are there." He said, "No problem, sir." Chief officer, myself, "Okay, we'll handle the bridge, no problem." So I had some secret letter from my office in case, because they were anticipating this problem will happen. So when I opened that letter, he said, "Captain, you have full authority to sail the ship without crew if you are confident, then only."
Yes.
So the confidence came from the officer. Yes, we are.
Had the support, yes.
And the moment that thing opened up, and he said, "All right, Lifted the gangway. The gangway was being lifted. The people thought we were joking about it. Gangway was lifted. Pilot saying, "Let go the rope." All rope at one shot because these people will run and try to say not to let go the rope. So one shot we all got the rope out and there we go. And as soon as we sailed out, and these people were big shocked, and the union leaders and all, they were surprised. How can the ship sail out? But then I had the support from the director, VLD director. He says, you have all the support, sail out if you can. We will let you know what to do in the next. So after sailing, I asked him, and I said, so we sailed out with all crew, no crew on board. All right, fine, Captain, head for Bombay. So we came to Bombay. And then all the crew family flew back to Bombay to join the ship. And that has been really wonderful experience for me. I don't think the shipping industry has ever happened. And neither it will ever happen again.
Yes.
They have learned the lesson.
Well, we hope relations, never come down to that level that, we have to force to. But I guess...
this was just the union
yes.
wanted to show off their power and all that, and they wanted to say that we are coming up, That was the main reason. There was nothing wrong with the ship.
Yes.
As the ship is called, Chhatrapati Shivaji.
Oh.
Hot-headed ship.
That is what's
But
saber rattling. Sometimes you get that, yes. No, but that's something others should know about. Like it is possible, not a situation anybody wants, but if you do run into it, there are ways of doing things. And
there are many other incidents I have similar to this one where we have pushed the union.
For that, we are going to have a separate session with you and me, and then we will be discussing every little bit that your experience. I'm sure it's volumes.
Volumes.
So,
sure.
So, Deepti, anything you would like to add over here about your dad? But he's already told us very interesting stuff.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of stories about him as well. But I think at the end of it, most of them who have worked with him, they always used to want to be on the same ship like him. So I think that speaks volumes, and they're still in touch with him even today. I think which again speaks volumes, because in today's day and age, nobody wants to be in touch or to value relationships. But for him, I think he's blessed with so many relationships and so many people around him that I think it just talks a lot about him.
Great. So
it's like the line start where you stand. This is what is happening with me. Amitabh Bachchan dialogue. Line वहाँ से शुरू होती है जहाँ से हम खड़े होते हैं. So it's the same thing with me also, more or less.
To come to a little close over here, so just few words on the maritime industry. Today's youngsters, are interested in these careers, but maybe not enough are interested. So, what would you tell a young person thinking of taking up shipping?
Shipping basically is a very good profession, I must say that. And I think the best of the shipping career I have had, best of it, I would say. And if somebody says the shipping career is not good, I think that is something wrong. Shipping is a good career to take up, but you must have liking for it. Anything you want to do, whether you do ashore or on a ship, or if you're attached to a ship, or if you're attached to any other industry, if you don't like the job, you better quit. But basically, you have to first like it. It's not that, definitely it is not a bed of roses, it is quite tough life. But tough is one side.
Yes.
And the tough is, as if I go out from here, what is the guarantee that I will reach home? There is no guarantee. So same thing in the ship. If you are on a ship, there is no guarantee that you will come back. But you should always think that you will come back. What's the problem?
Yes.
So if you like a shipping, then only go to sea, otherwise don't go to sea.
Yes. It should be very clear in your mind that this is a kind of profession I'm going to take up, because there are different kind of challenges.
Yes.
So Deepti, you've seen shipping from your dad's eyes, from him being a seafarer, and now you're working in that industry. So what would you tell youngsters who are trying to, looking at this as a career?
No, I think it is a beautiful profession. It's something which I think we need to get the pride back
Yes.
in the profession. I think that is what has gone missing. Earlier when people sailed, they had pride, the way they share their stories and the way they have come up. And they're so proud of the fact, oh, we were from Rajendra, we were from Dufferin. You see the joy on the face. I think that should come back. And if that pride comes back, I think it's a wonderful profession. You should know, and today's youngsters are aware. So they should know what they're getting into. is a beautiful profession, something which they can really hold on for throughout their lives. But yes, you should have the aptitude for that. That is what it
Great.
is. You should be cut out for it.
And with that, sorry.
With that, before you say finish,
Okay.
I must give credit to their mother. She is the one who has actually really brought them on, not me.
And tell us her name as well.
Prem Mehta.
Yeah.
Prem.
By lovely name, Prem Mehta.
Yeah.
But actually speaking, the amount of sacrifice she has done. I am be only a financial manager, only finance. But the real things lie is
Yes.
at home.
But that's where bonds come from sacrifice.
It
You
is-
know, just in every bond there has to be sacrifice. Otherwise, that bond will not form. So, mother, I think in that sense, I think mother
Yes,
a huge
absolutely.
sacrifice for the children. So,
She done,
but of
she
course,
done a lot of
the
sacrifice.
husband also makes a lot of sacrifice. I know. I agree.
Husband does in his own way.
Fathers.
Yeah. I think it's a balance. Both have done equally well. He could have clearly taken a show job, but
I
he
had a show
also
job. I had a lovely job.
Yeah,
He
but
quit that job
He quit
and-
because he knew we needed the finance, and I think
Yes.
whatever we are today, whether it's my brother and me, he understood because he was direct entry to cadet, so he didn't get an opportunity to go to college or to do any such kind of education, but he understood the value of education, and I think that is very important. So today, whatever we are educated and whatever we've got is because he had that vision, and he told that all we want is that you study hard. So I think it's both.
Yes.
It's both.
Great. Any of you young guys watching this show, please remember the Merchant Navy is really a career to take up. It can take you places in your life and make you really happy with the choice of this career. All the same, please remember that you need to look at it very closely because it is challenging, it is difficult, but what is easy? Nothing is easy. So might as well take up this one than any other. So with that, I will thank you, Deepti,
Thank
very
you.
much. Deepti, here's Anchored Together memento for you.
Thanks.
Thank you so
I'm sure
much.
you haven't got this at
No,
home.
no, not yet.
I
And
must-
this is for you, sir.
Thank you.
You can pour a little coffee in it. It's nice, strong coffee there for you. And thank you both for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure talking to you
Thank you
both.
so
Thank
much,
you,
Kamal.
thank you so
Thank you. And
Thank you,
bye-bye,
Marex,
viewers.
and also the Mind Speak, both of us.
Thank you.
so
Thank you so
Please
much.
come back to us every Friday. We are there for you with a fresh, new show. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Payal, what made you sure कि हाँ ये बंदा सही है?
Yeah, that's see. When I first time saw him, and I came from my office, they were already inside my house. My mama was really blushing. She was looking so happy, like कि उनको तो लड़का पूरी तरह से पसंद था. तो I was so happy कि मेरी मम्मा इतनी खुश है. My sisters, and obviously I also like him.
Okay.
First sight I can say.
Okay.
A handsome hunk in a red pullover, blue denims.
अच्छा, अरे वाह.
I love it.
थोड़ा शाहरुख खान style हाँ?
Yeah. He was wearing a beautiful. I noticed everything.
That I know.
Watch to his shoes, everything, and he was
So
looking
well polished.
Well polished. He was looking dynamic. That day, handsome, hung, tall. I always my dream man was always
Tall.
Tall.